My dear Patterns of Possibility listeners, I want to let you know that I really do appreciate you listening to this podcast. Your listenership means a lot to me. And this podcast is my sincere gift to you. And maybe you'd like to take action on reciprocating this gift. If you would, I'll mention a few things that are pretty helpful to me in the creation of this podcast. One thing that you could do is rate and review this podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Make sure to give it 5 stars. And if you're listening on YouTube, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot. Also, another thing that you can do to support my efforts is to sign up at my email list at Patterns of Possibility. When you sign up, you'll receive actionable steps to making meaningful connections. We talk about everything from people pleasing to ghosting, socializing do's and don'ts, compliments, one-sided friendships, and everything in between. So if you'd like support on making more meaningful connections with your friends and family or businesses and coworkers, sign up. Another thing that you could do is follow me on social media. I'm looking at TikTok in particular because I'm there all of the time. I'm on the road to reach 10,000 followers so that I can live stream some of my workshops. It'd be really helpful, and it would help me bring these opportunities to you for free. The last thing that I can recommend that you do is if you like this podcast and you know of someone who might enjoy it, please share it with that person. Share it with a friend. It really does go a long way. With that said, once again, your listenership means a whole lot to me. Thank you so much for your support. Do you want meaningful relationships in 2024? Then become the best version of yourself at the Love Yourself First 3-day conference. This virtual event is happening February 9th, 10th, and 11th. We are going to show you powerful self-love techniques to set boundaries, leave toxic relationships, make new friends, and much, much more. This year, start making meaningful relationships that will last a lifetime. Love yourself first. Go to patternsofpossibility/events to get your tickets now. Hey, what's going on? My name is Coach Lee Hopkins. My pronouns are he, him, his, and you're listening to the Patterns of Possibility podcast. This is a podcast dedicated to helping you replace harmful patterns with new possibilities. In each episode, we'll explore topics that inspire you to be yourself, live your truth, and make lasting connections. In this episode, we're going to talk about leveling up your social connections. By the end of this episode, I hope that you're going to understand exactly where you need to go and what you need to do to meet new people and make those meaningful connections in this year 2024. Are you ready? Let's go. One of the most frequently asked questions that I get is, where do you go to make friends? Where do you go to make friends, Lee? How do I make friends? Something along those lines. And what I tell people, and what is the truth, is that wherever you are, you're going to make friends. The key is, the most important thing, is that you go to places in which people are doing things that you enjoy. And that's how you're going to make friends. If you go to places where people aren't doing things that you enjoy, you're going to find yourself straining to try to fit in, to try to connect with them, to try to be somebody else, to connect. And that's not what we want to do. That's not a real, authentic relationship. Because, of course, you have to change to fit in. We're not looking for people like that. What you want to do is to go to places in which you are doing something that enriches you, that feels good to you. So where can you go to make friends? Where do you go to make friends? Well, of course, it is wherever you are. Boo, hiss, boo. You don't like that. Okay. I understand. But it really is true. For just about a year, I went to this board game place, a board game shop in Chicago. I went there just about every Saturday because they had a meetup in which you learned a new game. And so I went, I was very excited to learn something new. It was for my own enrichment and to meet new people. Meet new people was a bit secondary, but I really wanted to learn how to play something new and to do something new with new people. The reason I went is for my own enrichment and excitement. And sure enough, after going for several weeks, I met people who also went for several weeks. I met people who really liked the same kind of things I did, and I was able to connect with them outside of the board game shop. This is what I want to share with you. Being able to do that thing. The first step into where do you go to make friends or answering that question is where you really want to be, where you feel enjoyment and excitement. Those are the places that you want to go. It's for your own enrichment, right? That's the key, is to go to those places for your own enrichment and excitement. Don't do what I did. Before the board game shop, I would go to bars. I would look for people who wanted to play board games, who wanted to do little puzzles in the bars, because I really thought that that's where adults go to make friendships. That's where adults go to make relationships with other people, is you sit on a bar stool and you drink and you talk about nothing. And eventually one of you will open up to have a conversation about something that's deep and important to you. That liquid courage that I ingested would give me the power to talk about those things that I thought were stupid and were boring and weren't interesting to people with impunity. But that's not how you want to create your relationships. That's really not how you want to create relationships. So if you're struggling with this, where can you go to make friends? Well, I want to help you get started with the Meaningful Connections Workbook. It's absolutely free. If you check the link in my bio, you can find that on my website. It's absolutely free. Check it out. It's going to give you 50 questions to understand more about who you are and what you're looking for, and then go out to these places. Now, this is what I want to tell you. Consistency is key when you're going to connect with other people. Like, I went for almost a year to this board game shop. You're going to do the same. You're going to pick a place and you'll continue to go for at least 3 months. And it's going to be for your own enrichment. Remember, you're not trying per se to meet people. You're trying to feel comfortable in the space. So pick a weekly standing event that relates to whatever it is that's important to you. What's fun, what's interesting, what's exciting, something that you've always wanted to do. Maybe you wanted to take an art class. Maybe you want to take a ceramics class. Maybe you just wanted to go for a walk and you're going to meet new people and a meetup and go for a walk. Commit to doing that thing for a week. Not for just 1 week, but commit to doing that thing for several weeks. In fact, that's something that I'm going to do this year. I'm going to go to one meetup every single week, and I'll let you know how that works out. If you're following me on TikTok, you're absolutely going to know. If you're following me on YouTube, I'm going to tell you there too. So make sure you follow me. But here's the deal. What you want to do is go to an event every single week, and a standing event when you're first getting started out this, because the thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you've got something to look forward to, right? Looking forward to an event is going to help you feel more joyful about going to that place. It's going to light you up. You're going to feel satisfied and excited to go to have this experience once you have it booked on your calendar. It's not an obligation. It's something fun and interesting that you're looking forward to. You want to carry that energy into this event with you. That joyful excitement is what's going to attract other people to you. Just being in your own company, just being satisfied with who you are. And then once you're spending this time at the event, people are going to look at you and notice you. If you're going to a coffee shop every Saturday, sure enough, the barista is going to know your name. Sure enough, some of the patrons that continue to go at that time in that place are going to know you too. So it's going to make it easier for you to strike up a conversation with them. People are going to notice you, you're going to notice these people, and you're going to feel more comfortable because one, again, you're in this joyful spirit because this is something you get to do on a Saturday. And two, well, this is your home turf. You feel comfortable. These people are coming on your turf. You don't feel awkward. You know the space, and you're easily able to strike up a conversation with them. It really is a win. Now, once you have become familiar with the people there, what you want to do is strike up a conversation. Like, have a more pointed conversation about the things that are important and interesting to you. Picture this. It's been weeks of you saying hello to the barista, hello to some people there, maybe smiling at them because you recognize them. Now it's time to take it to the next level. You want to open the conversation from hello to hello, my name is, this is something that I like to do for fun. This is something that interests me, or something, maybe you share something that you've noticed about them and their behavior. Oh, I see you're reading this book. I really like this author, or I like this kind of thing, or maybe a curiosity about the book. I see that you're reading this book. What is it about? I see you here at this coffee shop all the time. I see that this is your order. Whatever it is, be creative, but be curious. Be curious about them. And so what you want to do is invite them to do something else outside of this, or perhaps invite them to have a conversation with you at this space where you are with the home turf, where you're feeling joyful and comfortable in this space. Invite them to open up and have more conversation with them. This is going to get you closer to them, to create the meaningful connection that you're looking for. Your mission is to start small. Keep it casual. There is no pressure, right? The goal is to create a comfortable and familiar space where friendships can naturally grow. I believe that you can do it, in so much that I'm actually going to do it myself. I'm going to go out to meetup groups once a week, at least once a week, because I may be able to do more, but at least once a week, and I'm going to share my experiences with you. So if you're not following me on TikTok or YouTube, be sure to do that on my social medias, because that's where I'll be posting them. And if you decide to take on this challenge for yourself in 2024, I would love to hear more about your experiences. Feel free to email me. I'd love to hear about it again at patternsofpossibility@gmail.com. Tell me about what's going on with you, who you met, because I'm going to do the exact same. I'll be right back with the answer Reddit question. Are you tired of being around people who just don't get you? Have you been putting yourself out there but not able to find anybody that matches your vibe? You're not alone. Making friends, especially as an adult, is hard. My name's Coach Lee. I'm a social connections coach, and I want to help you find your tribe. I have a 3-step coaching program for groups and individuals that's designed to help you get to the right place, to meet the right people, to have the right kind of conversations that leave you feeling fulfilled, appreciated, and understood. After going through the Find Your Tribe coaching program, you'll discover who it is that you really want to be connected to, how to find those people, and what you need to talk about so that your relationship moves from an acquaintanceship to a close friendship. And with this program, you won't be on this journey alone. You'll have access to a private community in which there are others who are just as intentional about making the kind of connections you are. You'll also have access to live events like weekly Q&As, speed friending, and much more. You'll be able to practice your skills in a safe environment and feel confident to connect authentically when you get out into the real world. If you're ready to get started on making meaningful connections and lasting relationships, then apply to the coaching program by using the link in the show notes. All right, now it's time for the Reddit friendship advice question. If you have a friendship advice question that you think I should answer, tag me in it on Reddit. My handle is Brilliant and Resilient. That's Brilliant, the letter N, Resilient. Where to make new friends. Hi there. I'm 30 and male. I left my hometown between the ages of 16 and 26, and when I returned, I hung with people I grew up with who were dozers. I stopped smoking weed lately, and I cut them off because they don't want what's best for me, and they drag me down, lie to me, and so on. Now I'm friendless and lonely, and it's really getting me down. I'm looking for suggestions on how and where to make friends in Manchester. I tell you, just about every day somebody posts something like, where can I make friends? Where can I make friends? And I'm really trying to connect the gap. I'm really trying to close the gap between those people who are looking for friends and this information that I'm sharing. And fortunately, there are a lot of people who also share their insight and information too. So I'm looking at some of these comments, And a person talked about how they do regular meetups on the Discord. Loads of people have made friends through it, over 7,000 members now, 1 to 2 meetups throughout this week, and such and such. And I think, wow, that's really awesome to be able to make friends. I do believe that you can make friends on social media and to internet and connecting with people. It's just about consistency and also what you talk about. So I think that's very, very important. What you want to do is make sure that you are consistent, as I said. So this person who's trying to make friends, well, you have to figure out what it is. Because, I mean, you left your hometown many, many years ago, and now you've returned, and you're trying to go back to the old places, the old stopping grounds in which there were people doing the things that you used to do, but you realize it doesn't fit your lifestyle anymore. So what does fit your lifestyle? That's the key. What do you want to do with other people? What kind of experiences do you want to have? Because you know what happens when we're out there making friends, or we're out there connecting with people, or bringing people into our lives? We try really hard to think about what it is that they want us to do, and we try to fit in. We don't really know what we want from them until we get to the situation, we get to this experience in which there are people doing things that we don't like, and we push them away. It becomes very, very apparent that this is not what I want. But we don't know what it is that we do want. We don't spend that time to understand ourselves so that we can go to places in which there are people doing the things that we want. You'll never have to look for friends if you're really focused on what it is that's important and interesting to you. You'll never have to look for friends if you go do the thing that enriches you and have a conversation with the person who is right next to you. That's how you're really going to connect with other people. So this question, where do I make new friends? If you're struggling with this too, where do you make new friends? Well, you go do things that are important and interesting to you. The question that you really want an answer to is, what's important and interesting and fun to you? What is it? What is it? Where are people doing that thing that you want to do? That's the question. And once you answer that question, you go to those places. We're always asking the wrong question. Where to make friends? Where to make friends? Where can I go? It's not a bar. It's not at a random sporting event. It's not at a movie. It's not at a random meetup. It is where you want to be. To my point earlier, you make friends wherever you are. Someone also suggested definitely take up a hobby or join a club. And once you have a couple of friends, go to comedy nights, quiz nights, etc. Then you can build your circle even more. This is not what I recommend. I don't recommend this because it's just kind of a random thing. But they say take up a hobby and join a club. I think that's important to do that, because what we want here, the components of it, what we want here is a hobby that's fun and exciting and interesting to you. Certainly go figure out what that is without other people. Go do it. And then join a club. All right, those are people who are doing the hobby and fun thing that you're looking for. And those people equate to the consistency that I was talking about earlier. You know, continuing to go to this event, you're going to see the same kind of people doing the same kind of things that are fun and interesting to you. It'll make it easier for you to strike up conversation for all the things that I mentioned earlier. But it's not about you going to comedy nights and quiz nights and stuff like that. I don't recommend that you go to places where people are doing loud things that don't give you an opportunity to talk to the person that you want to make a meaningful connection with. It's just not going to work because you're distracted and you're busy looking at something and laughing at something, but you're not talking about the experience that you have. The key to making meaningful connections, and write this down. Write it down. Even if you're driving, listening to this pod, don't do that. That's a lie. Don't do that. I'm not advising you to do anything like that. But take note of the fact that if you want to make a meaningful connection, you have to give someone something to know about you. If you want to start a conversation, you want a connection, if you don't know what it is that you like to do and it's interesting and fun for you, it's going to make it very, very difficult for you to meet new people and have a meaningful connection. Get to know yourself first. That's the first thing. And then you'll be able to connect with others. Redditor, thank you so much for asking your question. I know that you didn't ask me to answer it, but I did, and I hope that it helps. Best of luck to you. Take care. My name is Coach Lee Hopkins, and you have been listening to the Patterns of Possibility podcast. You can find me at patternsofpossibility.com and on all social media at Patterns of Possibility. And as always, I want to encourage you to be yourself, live your truth, and there you'll make lasting friendships.